What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer. This coming Thursday, we're going to be getting a ton of brand new information regarding Overwatch 2, specifically when it comes to the PvP side of the sequel. This means we could be learning more about new maps, new game modes, and potentially even new heroes? Which is why today I wanted to make a video delving into what sort of expectations we should have going into this upcoming live stream, as we're likely going to end up learning quite a bit more about Overwatch 2, but I also want to manage expectations in some certain areas. Real quick, before I jump into the video though, I'd just like to remind you to subscribe and hit up that bell icon to both help out my channel and keep you up to date on all future Overwatch and Overwatch 2 related news and content. But focusing back now on the Overwatch 2 livestream, first let's cover all the basic information about it. This livestream will be taking place on Thursday, May 20th, and will last for 2 hours. According to Blizzard, it'll be streamed on both YouTube and Twitch, and is supposed to be featuring Overwatch game director Aaron Keller, along with Jeff Goodman, Dion Rogers, as well as other Overwatch developers and Overwatch League team members. The primary focus of this upcoming livestream is to focus on Overwatch 2 PvP mechanics, and specifically PvP design philosophies. From what we know about Overwatch 2 so far, it sounds like there are going to be some pretty substantial changes coming to the PvP side of the game, so it seems like this livestream is going to be dedicated to covering these upcoming changes and going more in depth with some of the things they initially showed off back at BlizzConline in February. This could include, but not necessarily be limited to, the passive mechanics which are being added to each of the different roles, or potentially even rebalancing certain heroes and mechanics, perhaps even going to the extent of some heroes switching the role they're in, or maybe even shifting the game from a 6v6 format to a 5v5. Now of course, this is just speculation based on some of these subtle details we saw back at BlizzConline, and we don't know for sure just yet whether this is the direction Blizzard's going to be taking the game, but certainly this seems like the sort of thing we can expect them to go into much more detail regarding during this upcoming live stream. Now, beyond just the specifics of PvP game design and philosophy, Aaron Keller in his dev update also acknowledged that they'll be showing off new maps during this upcoming livestream. He didn't specify whether these new maps were going to be the ones we've already seen at BlizzCon 2019 and BlizzConline, or if they're going to be brand new, never before talked about maps, but I do consider it to be a fairly realistic possibility for a brand new map to be revealed. So far, Blizzard has shown off 7 new maps for Overwatch 2, being Toronto, Rio, Monte Carlo, Gothenburg, New York, Rome, and an unnamed map in India. But beyond this, the devs have acknowledged that there will be an entire new roster's worth of maps added with Overwatch 2, so these 7 are presumably just a small portion of the total number that's going to be added. Therefore, with so many new maps coming with the release of the sequel, I would not be surprised if Blizzard ended up showing off another 1 or 2 of them during this upcoming livestream. I, for one, would love to finally get to see Watchpoint Galapagos, which, for those of you who are out of the know, is one of the original concept map images from way back before the game even released, and in general, I've always been in love with the idea of an underwater map, so if we get something like this, I'm going to be super duper excited. Now, similar to new maps is new game modes. We know that Overwatch 2 will be introducing a number of new game modes, most of them being part of the PvE side of the game, but the PvP side of the game is also going to be getting some new modes as well. The first and so far only confirmed new game mode for Overwatch 2 is Push, which was first revealed and made playable for attendees at BlizzCon 2019, which features yet another lovable robot character who's pushed by both teams in either direction in order to try and get their respective barriers farther towards the enemy's spawn. So far, we know that both Toronto and Rome are going to be push maps, but we can assume that there will be a number of other push maps beyond these 2, and it's unlikely that push will be the only new PvP game mode added with the sequel. Therefore, it's quite possible that during this livestream, we end up seeing 1 or more additional PvP game modes which they plan to add to the base game of Overwatch 2. Additionally, going back to the idea of them showcasing new maps, if they show off a new game mode, there's likely going to be a new map accompanying it. Most of the Overwatch 2 maps they've teased thus far have already been assigned with specific game mode, with only a couple of them being indeterminate in which mode they're gonna be, so it's easy to imagine that a new game mode reveal would also be accompanied by a new map reveal for that game mode. And along these same sort of lines, it's also possible that we learn more about what's gonna end up happening with the 2CP or Assault game mode, which we've so far had somewhat inconsistent information about. Jeff Kaplan himself back at BlizzConline said that 2CP was going to be removed entirely in Overwatch 2, but then we've had some other developers in interviews say that they're just planning to rework 2CP, and other people just saying, oh, they're going to take the existing 2CP maps and rework those to be other game modes while getting rid of the game mode entirely. So hopefully we'll get a bit more clarification and information regarding what's going to end up becoming of this very unpopular game mode, since right now the general consensus seems to be that the mode just won't exist at all in Overwatch 2, but Blizzard themselves were a bit inconsistent in discussing that, so hopefully we get a bit more clarity as for what's actually going to become of the mode itself, as well as the maps that are tied to it. Now, beyond maps and game modes, we get to what is perhaps the most exciting thing for them to potentially reveal during this upcoming live stream, and that's new heroes. However, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to end up seeing any outright new hero reveals during this live stream. The reason for this is that heroes are big. They are undoubtedly the biggest and most hype-inducing aspect of Overwatch as a game, and because of that, the new heroes leading up to Overwatch 2 are almost certainly going to be getting their own dedicated reveals and or announcements. Whether that new hero is going to be the Junker Queen or the Kanazaka Fox Girl, I assume that Blizzard is going to go for a bit more of a spectacle when it comes to the official reveal of these being upcoming heroes, as opposed to just casually mentioning them and showing them off during a live stream, which is focused on a completely different aspect of Overwatch 2. Now, that being said, given that this is a live stream, I wouldn't rule out the possibility of one or more of the Overwatch devs either intentionally or accidentally teasing/leaking information about these upcoming heroes. Maybe Jeff Goodman will mention, oh, well, this is an interesting mechanic, and we maybe have a hero who's gonna focus on that mechanic coming out in the future, or maybe Aaron Keller will accidentally mention the name of somebody just by, accident, So in that regard, I think we could see or hear something pertaining to the release of upcoming heroes, but I do not expect Blizzard to outright showcase or reveal a new hero during this upcoming stream. We could, however, see more gameplay of Sojourn, who is so far the only confirmed new hero for Overwatch 2, since we already saw some of her gameplay during the footage at BlizzConline, so I wouldn't be surprised if Blizzard focused on her again to show off not only the mechanics of Overwatch 2's PvP, but also her as a hero in-game. Maybe we'll get a full look at her kit instead of just having to go by icons and limited gameplay footage, as it seems like at this point they're at least fairly confident in how her kit and visual design is going to end up coming across. Overall, though, I do want to mention that this is all just speculation at this point, and these are my expectations based off of how Blizzard has handled things like this in the past, and just the sort of track record they have, and where we are relative to the release of Overwatch 2 going forward. I certainly think we're going to get a lot of exciting information this coming Thursday, but I do want to manage the expectations in that I don't think it's going to be an outstanding amount of hype-inducing content reveals that they have in store for us. New maps and game modes, I think, are very realistic possibilities for them to show off. New heroes, I think, is stretching it a bit, but we might hear something. Again, intentional or unintentional leaks or teasers are certainly possible in this scenario, but I would not get my hopes up for there being a proper new hero reveal. And of course, once the stream concludes on Thursday, I will be publishing a video on my YouTube channel shortly afterwards, summarizing all the important and interesting details and things discussed during the stream, so be sure to stay tuned for that if you aren't interested in watching the stream yourself, or if you'd just like a more summarized recap of everything they discussed. So stay tuned for that, and if you don't want to miss it, then be sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, hit up that bell icon, and come join me on Discord so you don't miss out on that or any other Overwatch and Overwatch 2 new news and content going forward. Thank you all so much for watching. Definitely let me know what you're expecting to see this coming Thursday during the Overwatch 2 PvP livestream by dropping a comment down below. Special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible, and if you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards like getting your name at the end of my videos, then just hit that join button down below. Otherwise, this is Master EN Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.